Here's part one of the 2018-2019 Progressive Discipline Plan and Review 360 information provided by the Department of Alternative Programs and Services. The CCSD Progressive Discipline Plan is a guide for all teachers and administrators to use when processing office discipline referrals. The CCSD Progressive Discipline Plan is a guide for planning school-wide and individual student support in an effort to deter unacceptable behaviors from taking place in school. The Progressive Discipline Plan is intended to support teachers, school leaders, and students into promoting a healthy and safe school climate for all parties. All discipline referrals, teacher and office managed, are to be placed into Review 360. Teacher managed referrals are handled as in class referrals by the teacher, and office managed referrals requires the assistance of an administrator for a consequence and intervention to be assigned. All consequences and interventions listed in the PDP should be implemented based on the school's level of support and access to the items listed. Administrators may not sign a more exclusionary disciplinary measure than what is prescribed in the PDP without consent from their level director. Administrators may elect to provide additional interventions or assign a lesser consequence based on extenuating circumstances, such as students with IEPs, students under evaluation, medical reasons, or students with 504 plans. The PDP was created with the assistance of school administrators and teachers on the elementary, middle, and high school levels, as well as in collaboration with district department leaders. Monthly meetings were held throughout the 17-18 school year to gather input, review data, and make revisions for the 18-19 PDP. To ensure all stakeholders' input were included as applicable, a DAP representative or representatives attended principal meetings, a Teacher of the Year roundtable meeting, and two surveys were conducted district-wide to gather feedback and suggestions for the 18-19 PDP revision. The draft was then submitted to the countywide Board of Trustees for review and feedback. There were two major changes to the 2018-19 PDP. Level changes. These changes were made due to state changes. For example, profanity was moved to level 1 as directed by the state. Infractions are now being banded. These are infractions with like behaviors. Banding is the grouping of multiple referrals with like behaviors. Banding is important because it provides timely and responsive interventions and supports the students who are experiencing like behaviors. These infractions will follow the same progression of consequences and interventions so that students are addressed more swiftly and learning continues in the classroom. Here's an example of banded infractions on the elementary school level. The infractions of fireworks and miscellaneous weapons are banded because their definitions are similar. Their behaviors are alike. As you will now see, the PDP includes interventions and consequences. In looking at these banded infractions, if a student were to bring fireworks, the first intervention would be to reteach expectations, and the first consequence would be to confiscate the item, contact the parent, and send the student home. If during the second occurrence the student brought miscellaneous weapons such as a toy gun, toy cap gun, toy pellet guns, or bullets, we would move to the second occurrence, and the interventions would be to create a behavior plan with a random search, confiscate the items would be a consequence, and conditional suspension would also be a consequence. Conditional suspension requires a parent conference before the student can return to school. On the third occurrence, if the student brought fireworks again, the intervention would be a parent shadow, and the consequence would be to confiscate the item, contact the parent, and provide the students with out of school suspension for up to 2 days. If the event occurred again or the infraction occurred for the fourth time, as you can see, there are no interventions as the consequences lead to confiscating the item, contacting the parent, OSS for up to 3 days, and then referral to the Department of Alternative Programs and Services. Here are more examples yet for middle and high school students. Here's the other major changes for elementary schools. As you can see, the bandit codes, we just reviewed fireworks and miscellaneous weapons. These two are now banded together. The infractions of indecent exposure and pornography are now banded together. Obscene gesture and profanity are also banded together, as well as alcohol and drug usage are banded together. The level adjustment changes, bite, pinch, spit, and computer violation are now level twos. Profanity is now level one. As you can see, this says student profanity. So this is profanity from student to student, or between students and between students. Theft and larceny have moved from a level 2 to now level 3 for the 18-19 school year. Definition changes are also included in the new PDP. Off limits has a new definition. Major disruption and obscene gesture also have new definitions, as well as computer violation and hit, kick, push. They all have new definitions. Of course, these definitions can be found within the PDP, also found on the CCSD website. Other changes of additions or deletions included stealing to a level 2. This was added to the elementary PDP. Cutting classes was deleted from the elementary PDP for pre-K through second, as this primarily doesn't occur. No return form and loitering were also deleted from the elementary PDP. These are changes for middle and high school level PDPs. The Code of Conduct has been reviewed and revised to align with the revised 1819 Progressive Discipline Plan. Each school will receive a bound manual with the following items from the DAP: Administrative Procedures, Attendance and Truancy, and Homebound. The PDP became an official published document for all stakeholders to review following on the CCSD website. At this time, if you have any questions, you may ask regarding Part 1 of the PDP and Review 360 update. Thank you for viewing Part 1 of the PDP review.